All right, so this is actually gonna be my first time nighttime shooting. Walking around the campus that I live right next to, ACC, and just finding some pretty interesting shots to try to get on film at night. Never done this before, good experiment. I got Portra 400 in my Nikon F2, so let's just see how this goes. Got all my metering done. This is gonna be my first shot actually out here around ACC, right next to where I live. Just gonna hand count it once these cars pass. Portra 400 came out to around a 4-second exposure based off of all the metering that I've done. 6 seconds with the reciprocity failure on it. And here we go. And nothing happened. Weird. Maybe because I didn't have a shot. didn't have it advanced. Okay, 6 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we have it. First shot done. Portra 400, F8. We got 2-second exposure. Car weirdly watching me while I do this. Got our shot lined up here. Advanced film. 1, 2. Cool. Easy enough. Hopefully that turns out. Another shot here. 18-second exposure is what we have come up with. The only thing I don't like about this shot is that there is a truck down the road with its hazards on, and it is reflecting in my shot. Anyways, I got F8, 18-second exposure. Cool. We'll see how that one comes out. All right, this one I'm just kind of experiment with and see just how close I get it. So I have my shot lined up, not a good one, just interesting enough for me to waste a frame on it. So I got F8 again, pointed at this like pretty lit up area on the back side of the college here. I'm gonna guess 4 seconds because it is pretty well lit, but I want to get some of the trees up here in it. This one shot in the dark, quite literally, no pun intended. Cool. Well, guess I won't know until it is done. Also, I just realized this probably isn't the best for no shake. I need to get a better tripod for this type of stuff, or just shoot at a lower angle and deal with it. You never know until you're like kind of in the mood of shooting, of like what to shoot, because I've walked past all of this a million times. I kind of see a shot there, kind of see one there, and I've never noticed really these two spots. All right, so I got my composition of this first little area set up, and then just double check. Yeah, I got my composition of the first area set up, dropping the tripod down quite a bit here to where it's more stable, and absolutely no shake on it. Well, not absolutely none, but least amount. It came up with like a 4-second exposure, 6-second after reciprocity at F8 for this, but I want to make sure I get a little more, so I'm gonna count to like 7.5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Cool. I'm gonna get this next composition set up. I do like this a lot because of the blue in the window. I think it looks pretty cool. I imagine, I'm just gonna take a wild guess on this to try to get my eye more attuned to exposures at night at f8. I'm gonna say that's gonna need 10 to 12 seconds. Let's check. Well, I was kind of right. It was a 10-second reading on my light meter with reciprocity failure. It was coming up to 21 second total on the exposure needed. So going to wait for this car to pass so the light doesn't mess up my exposure at all, and then we are going to do 21 seconds. Sweet. On to the next spot. You can tell I'm very new at all this. This is my very first time shooting at night. Second time ever using a shutter release cable. First time really using the exposure readings from my phone and calculating for reciprocity. But let's see what this looks like for 16 seconds of exposure. All right, this is another example of me walking by a shot and not even seeing it at first, nor do I ever really notice this whenever I walk laps around this place. It's not, a great frame. I just thought the light looked kind of interesting, how this was all set up. So 8 seconds is what I calculated with this, and yeah, let's see how it turns out. Cool. So it looks like it's going to be another 21 second exposure. Shoot, it's dark. I might do a little bit longer. All right, I already have the film advanced this time. So let's do 25 just to be safe. 25. Cool. All right, let me go ahead and advance that so I don't forget. And let's get to moving. I feel a little weird because I was blocking the walkway and people were actually trying to use this to walk their dog. Something that was intended for, not for me to block it with my old ass film camera. All right, so this is gonna be a minute-long exposure for this frame right here. Probably a shit frame, but once again, I'm just out here testing, having fun. So I'm setting a timer on my Apple Watch since I'm shooting this on the iPhone right now. By the way, no clue how the exposures are going. My first time using the Blackmagic camera app. This should be kind of cool with the clouds in frame too. So starting my timer now. I set a minute 10 on my watch so I can get ready here. And there we go. So while that exposes, yeah, I don't know how this is gonna work. It would be a lot cooler if I actually came out here when this was purple. Be a lot more interesting than just a white pavilion, even though it is pretty still. I really do enjoy looking at this, but it would be a lot cooler if it was purple. All right, we have 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. All right, so we're really gonna dive deep into some longer exposures. This one should take about 4 minutes to get this scene This one is just a wild guess. I recomposed my shot to get the street lamp in it over on the edge too. And it came out to about 2 minutes versus 4 with the more light that's hitting it. So I'm gonna end up doing about 2 minutes and say like 15, 20 seconds or so. Let's do 222 for, you know, good luck and stuff. There we go. Off to the races. There is a raccoon in the bushes over here. Just saw him scurry across right through there. Saw his little hunchback wobbling through. Oh, let me check my time left. We have 51 seconds left on the exposure, but literally thought there was a homeless man just watched me in the bushes. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Got a couple more places I want to go take some pictures of real quick before I call it quits. I didn't know I was going to be out here this long. This is a lot more fun than I expected it to be. And yeah, I guess this is why everybody just dives into this. Night photography seems to be a lot more fun than day for me so far. Yet another questionable shot. 5-second exposure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I almost messed that up. I almost messed that up bad. Yeah, I don't know, actually. I'll go ahead and do that real quick. Shut that off. I don't know how this trigger and the shutter function together, because I thumb slipped on the shutter release cable, and it came about halfway out. But I don't believe that is pretty linear with the actual like shutter mechanism itself. When I let go, it sounded like it was a full clap. Yeah, I don't think the shutter just you know, half shut whenever my thumb slipped, but I guess only time will tell. All right, 4-second exposure. Did it for 5.